Here with Senator Cam Ward. Cam, it's nice to be with you, and I wanted to ask you, Senator, you have a new piece of legislation, the kind of really common sense legislation that constituents are demanding right now. Tell us about this bill.
You know, right now court dockets are overcrowded across the state. It's taken a long time for people to get their cases heard, and that's because we have less money in our general fund budget. When you have a $500 million shortfall, what you have to do is come up with creative solutions without raising new taxes, and this bill does that. What it does is, if two people to a lawsuit decide they want to have their cases heard immediately, they can go to the judge and say, we're willing to pay for a private judge to hear our case, have that case resolved, and we pay for the cost of the judge. It's no new cost to the taxpayers, costs the court nothing. We get our case heard quicker, and it's one less case that the regular judges don't have to hear. So it's a win-win for everyone, and it's a good common sense approach to reforming our judicial system.
And so what are the positive ramifications of a bill like this, aside from you can see decreased costs, speedier trials? What else?
Well, one thing that I like about it is right now everyone keeps saying, well, we have to have more money, we have to have more money. Well, there is no more money. There's no more revenue out there. So what we have to do is make the current system we have run better. And this bill does that. It really makes it run better. At the same time, the voters can say, wow, they really are trying their best to find a way to make sure we run it the way we want it ran on a lean budget. So that's what I like about it. It's creative. It thinks outside the box.
Who are your major detractors in this bill?
You know, right now we don't have many, but I think at the same time, people more than anything, not necessarily detractors, but they have questions about, well, we've never really heard of this before. How does this work? And I think the more we explain to people that it's very efficient and the way it works, it's a pretty simple bill, more and more people getting on board with it. So I think it's an idea that's going to catch up a lot of steam as we go forward.
Has this been tried at all, Senator, in other states?
It's been tried in a few other states, but it's interesting because oftentimes people look at the courts and say the solution is we got to have more judges, we got to have more courtrooms or more money. So that's always been the knee-jerk reaction. Well, when the recession hit the country so hard in 2008, what happened is states really had to start being more creative, and that's when this movement really kind of took off. I think it'll work very well in Alabama.
What is the average cost of something like that? If two parties, say two businesses suing one another, decide to hire a judge, what generally, just off the top of your head, does that end up costing? You're
looking at two parties who are probably suing for a total amount of around $100,000. And at the end of the day, they would probably spend about $1,000, $1,500 to pay for a judge. That, to me, in my opinion, is very cost-worthy. And I think a lot of people would take advantage of it. They take advantage of it because they say, wow, I don't want to wait 7 or 8 months to have my case heard. I'd like to have a resolution of my problem now.
You're from the 14th District in Alabama. Are there other pieces of legislation that you are sponsoring this year that you're excited about?
I have several pieces of legislation I'm excited about. One, I'm working on a bill of cybercrime, to crack down on cybercrime. As chairman of the Senate Judiciary, one of the things I see a lot, law enforcement deals with a lot, are identity theft, phishing, and right now it's almost impossible to prosecute those crimes under our state laws. And what we're doing is we're coming up with a new way to reach out, and basically called venue expansion for legal terminology, but to reach out and catch some of those people committing those crimes, even if they're in other states, but the victims are in Alabama. We would actually lead the way in the country as far as state laws and having the toughest cybercrime laws in the country if we did that. It's taking current crimes and making sure they're up to date in 21st century technology.
Very exciting stuff. All right, Senator Cam Ward, and anything else you wanted to add?
I just want to say thanks for having me on today, and I look forward to visiting with you.
Thank you so much. Do you have a website that you'd like listeners to know about if they want to contact you to support these bills or help you somehow?
Absolutely. Besides being found both on Facebook and Twitter, you can find me at www.camward.com.
And on Facebook and Twitter at Cam Ward?
On Twitter, send Cam Ward, and then on Facebook, it's just Cam Ward.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Gina.
Wish you all the best this session.